Hello everyone and welcome back to Edureka's YouTube channel. This is the third part of our web development tutorial series. In the first video, we covered the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and we even built a form using these technologies. In the second part, we kicked off our project Street Food Spencer, where we built the home page and the meal page. Today in this video, we'll be developing the cart page, checkout page, contact us page and login register page. And also, stay tuned until the end because we will also dive into the basics of backend development to understand how everything works behind the scene. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on the latest tech content from Edureka. Also, don't forget to check out Edureka website for our Web Developer Master Program. The link is in the description box below. Let's just quickly recall what we have built so far. So here is the output of what we have built so far. We build the navigation bar, home page, our services section, then we build this section, and after that we build this scroller and our meal section, best offer section and top trending. Along with that, we have also built the footer section. And after the home page, we build the meals page, and here is our meal page, the navigation bar and the sections for breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks. So if we click on lunch and then dinner and then snacks, that's it. So now we will move on to our VS Code, and next what we have to create the cart page. So for that, we'll make one cart.html page and then we'll also include cart.css page. That's it. And inside the cart.html, we are going to copy the navigation bar first. So that we are going to copy from index.html. So we are not going to add the scroller. We'll just copy the navigation bar and we will paste it in cart.html. And after this, we are going to add the cart container section. Now here we have added the container section. So we have just added the class container. After that, we have provided the heading as our cart, and then inside that, we have given the ID as cart items, and we have also provided the class because we are going to write the JavaScript for all these sections. So we have provided the ID and class both. And after that, we have given the heading as total price, and we are going to change the total price as people add the items to the cart. So that's why we have included the ID also. And after that, what we have done, we have created the button for the checkout. That's it for the cart page. What we are going to do, we are just going to add the footer, and after that we'll write the script for our cart page. So again, we are going to copy the footer from our index.html because it will be the same in every page. So we want same footer for every page. That's why we are going to copy it from index.html and then we are going to paste it on our every page. So here is our footer. We'll just copy this footer and we are going to paste it in our cart.html. That's it. The footer has been pasted. We will just close the body tag and the HTML tag. Now what we are going to do, we are going to write the script code for our cart page. So whenever the user adds the item to the cart, the item gets updated. So right here we have added the script for our cart.html. Let us look at the script one by one. First, we have the render cart function. This function is responsible for displaying the items inside the cart, showing the price, calculating the total price. It also allows the user to remove the items from the cart. Inside the render function, we start by grabbing two elements of the HTML using the getElementBy. So we are having here cart items container and total price. So the cart item containers will store all the items that are displayed, and the total price will store all the total price of the item that are present in the cart. So now we have initialized the variable total price with the value of 0. This will store the sum of all the items price. After that, we have retrieved the data from the local storage. If the cart is empty, we use an empty array as a fallback. So we use json.parse to convert the stored string into the usable JavaScript array. And after that, before displaying the cart items, we clear the container by setting inner HTML to empty string. This ensures we don't duplicate any items every time we render the cart. Then we loop over each item in the cart using the for each method. We create a new div for each product and give it class as cart item. And inside the div, we add the item's image, name, description and price. We have also added a remove button with a data index attribute which stores the position of item in the cart. This is important for removing it later. So now each item we loop through will also update the total price by parsing the item's price to the float and adding it to the total price. So after we loop through, we update the total price displayed on the screen. Here we use toFix2 to make sure that price show within 2 decimal places. So now for the remove button functionality, once all the items are displayed, we grab all the button with the class remove from the cart button. We loop over each button and attach a click event listener. Right here we can see we have added a click event listener into the button. The event listener triggers the remove from the cart, which removes the item at the specified index of the cart. Finally, after making any changes to the cart like removing an item, we update the cart count in the navigation bar. Now let's look at the remove from cart function. So this function takes the index of each item we want to remove. Then we retrieve the cart from the local storage. We use splice to remove the item from the specified index. Once the item is removed, we store the updated cart back to the local storage and call render cart again to redisplay the updated cart price. So now we have update cart function which is responsible for displaying the number of items currently in the shopping cart. So first we retrieve the data from the local storage which we store as a JavaScript array. If there is no data, we can use empty array as a fallback. Then we use json.parse to convert the stored string into array items. And after that, we grab the element with the ID add to cart, which represents the cart button in the nav bar. Next, we update the inner HTML of the element to display the number of items in the cart using the cart length. This displays the count inside the parenthesis like cart3. This function ensures that every time the cart is updated, the count is reflected in the real time of the navigation bar. Now after that, let's move on to the checkout button. So we have a checkout button with the ID checkout button. When the user clicks on this button, we want to take them to the checkout page. We first grab the checkout button from the HTML using getElementById. We then attach the click event listener to the button. This event listener listens for when the user clicks on the button. When clicked, the event triggers the window location href property which redirects the user to the checkout page. This is done using by URL checkout.html. So that's it for the script of the cart.html. Now here we have added the checkout.html. So next page we are going to make is checkout.html. So before moving to the checkout.html, what we are going to do is we are going to style the cart section. So for styling the cart section, first of all we'll go to the navbar styling and we'll copy that because we have the same navigation bar. We have copied it and we'll just paste it at cart.css. And after this we'll style our container. Let us go through the container styling. So here we have created container in our cart.html and we have provided the max width, margin, padding, box radius, box shadow. Then we have styled the heading 1 of the container. Then we have styled the cart items inside the container, providing the display as flex, flex direction as column, gap as 15px. After that we have again styled the cart items and again we have provided the border radius, padding, border, alignment of items and the display. Then we will style the cart items images. We have provided the width, height and border radius. After that we have styled the heading of the cart items by providing the margin and the flex group. Then comes the total price and for that we have given the text alignment, margin, font size. After that comes the checkout button. So we have created one checkout button inside our cart.html. It has the background color as green, color, border, border radius, padding, font size, cursor and transition. After that we have made the checkout button as hover and then there is a background color provided to the hovering effect. Then again comes our footer styling, which we have already gone through. Here one more step we need to perform, that we need to add the cart.html to our navigation bar of cart. So here I'll just write cart.html, we'll save the code. inside cart.html, we'll link the navigation bar cart. So here also I'll link the cart.html. That's it. We'll save the file and then we will look at the output. Also guys, don't forget to link your cart.html with cart.css. So I have linked my cart.html with cart.css, and now this is the output. We have the home page here. Then we design the mail section. After that, here we have the cart section. So this is the remove button, which is functional. And after that, we are going to design this checkout page. So we'll just go to meals and we'll just add this add to cart and we'll just look how it works. So I've added these items into the cart. Now just look at the cart here. So this is functional. The items has been added. The calculation has been done. So now what we are going to do, the next step is to design this checkout page. So we'll move forward and we'll design this checkout page. The first thing we need to do is we need to make a file for the checkout page. So we'll just make checkout.html, and along with that we'll make one more file naming checkout.css. So inside that checkout.html, we are going to copy the navigation bar, and that will copy from index.html or cart.html. Let's say we are copying from cart.html. So we are just going to copy the navigation bar and we will just paste in checkout.html. So one more thing we'll do is we'll connect the checkout.html to checkout.css. So here it is connected and we'll save the file. After this, we are going to create form for the checkout page. So now here we have created the container for checkout, and the first thing we did is we opened the div section and we named it as container. Then we have added one heading, and after that we have added one more class naming checkout grid. So inside this we will create a checkout form. We'll name it as shipping information, and then we'll create a form inside it naming checkout form. So again, we know how to create a form. We use label and input for different things like we created in the first part. So if you are not familiar with this, you can just go to the first part and watch how to create a form. So we have added label and input for name, and again for email, address, city, zip, phone, and that's it. So inside that form only we have created one more heading, which is payment information. And again for payment information, we have created one more class for payment options, and then we have given a label for payment options, and inside it we have created a radio button so that people can choose that it should be a credit card or COD. So this is the creation of radio button here with two options, credit card or COD. Then we have closed the division of payment button. After that, we have included one more division for the payment information if the person is selecting card. So here the person can enter the card details. So for card details, we have again label and input for card name, card number, expiry date and CVV. After that, we have again closed this form and we have closed the checkout form. So now one side is done, the payment information is done. Now comes the cart section, what the person has added in the cart. So for that, we have again created one division naming it cart item section. We have given one heading for cart items, and then there is div ID for cart items container, and we have also provided class because we are going to target it in JavaScript. After that, we have given one more heading of order history. Then payment summary, we have included some paragraphs for the total and the shipping charges. So we kept $5 as the shipping charges, and here we have included the total and the shipping charges. So in JavaScript, we are going to write whatever the total amount is, just add $5 shipping charges into it, and that will be the total price. So then we have created one button that has a submit type and it is named as proceed. So after that, we have created one pop-up model. We have created one ID. So we gave the name as pop-up model and the class is model. Inside that, we have created one more class naming model contact, and inside that we have created a span of close button. Then we have added one image. Then we have given a thank you. So this is basically the pop-up that a person is going to get. So after that, they will get a message as your order has been successfully placed. Thanks. Here we'll do thank you. That's it. So after that, we have included the footer. So this footer has been added in every page. So after footer, we are going to write the JavaScript of the checkout.html. So the first JavaScript is for toggling the payment method fields. So we start by selecting the radio buttons that represent the different payment methods using query selectors. Right here we can see we have two payment methods like COD and the card options. So here we are using the query selector to select the payment method as card or the cash on delivery. We also grab the card details section elements to show or hide the credit card fields based on the user selection. This loops through each payment method option. We add an event listener to each radio button to detect when the user changes their selection. So if the user selects the card option, we display the card details section by selecting the style to block. Otherwise, cash on delivery, we hide the card section. And then we have written the code for calculating the subtotal, shipping and the total. So here we have the calculate totals. We have made one function named as calculate totals. Inside it, we retrieve the card from the local storage and initialize the subtitle as 0, right? After this, we add one fixed $5 amount, which is the shipping charge to the subtotal. Then finally, we update the subtotal, shipping and the total amount in the HTML using the inner text property. After that, we have rendering the cart items. So the first step is to grab the container where the cart items will be shown. Then we retrieve the cart data from the local storage and clear any previous content by setting inner HTML to empty string. After that, we loop through cart items and create a new div element for each product. Inside this div, we display the product's image, name, description and the price. And finally, we append each item to the cart items container. And then we have validating the checkout form. So right here, we validate the shipping information fields like name, email, address, city, zip and phone number. So if these fields are empty, we show an alert message asking the user to fill all the details. And now if the credit card payment option is selected, we also validate the credit card details, card names, number, expiry date and CVV. So we assume that the card number has 16 digits and the CVV has 3 digits and both should be in numeric. So right here you can see that. After that, we are showing the success model on valid submission. If the form is valid, we display a pop-up model to show the order was successful. We also clear the cart from local storage and reset the field after the successful order. After that, we have handling the model behavior. So we have event listeners for handling the pop-up model. So when the user clicks the OK button on the model, we hide the model and redirect the user to the home page. The model has one close button, the X, which hides the model when clicked. We ensure that the model appears on the right moment and disappears when necessary, giving users clear feedback after the order is placed. So this is the script page of our checkout.html. Now we'll quickly style our checkout.html inside checkout.css and then we will look at the output. So now here we are on the checkout.css. So after the navigation bar styling, we have created one container and then we have provided it max width, margin and padding. After that, we know we have created one checkout.grid and in this we have provided display, justify content, alignment of items and gap. After that, we have created one form, checkout form and cart item section. In that we have provided width, padding, border radius, background color, box shadow and animation. After that, we have provided labels to checkout form and in that we have given display, margin and font weight. After that, we have created the input for the labels. Inside that, we have provided width, padding, margin, border radius and transition. After that, we have created checkout form input focus and in that we have added border color, box shadow and outline. After that comes the payment section. Inside that also we created a form for the payment information. So for that we have given the styling for the H2 of the checkout form. And then we have given the payment options. For that we have given display, margin and margin right. Again we have given the display, alignment of items and the margin. Then the input of the payment selection, which is the radio button. For that we have given the margin top. And after that comes the payment option. And then we have the price summary. And for that we have given the background color, padding, border radius, text alignment and animation. Then price summary, we have given again font size and margin. Then the total price summary, where the total price will be displayed. Then we have that font size, font weight and color. Then we have cart section. So for that we have border left and animation. Again we have cart items. So in that we have display, alignments of item, justify content, margin, padding, border and transition. After that we have cart items hover. We are making the cart items hover. So we have background color and transform. Then we have the image inside the cart items. So for the image inside the cart items we have given width, height, object fit, border radius and transition. Then we are making that items hover. So we have given the transform scale. Then we have styled the heading inside the cart items. And then we have styled the price inside the cart items. And then we have finally designed the checkout button and the button, which is the submit type button, and we have provided the styling to the button. So you can just pause that video and you can go through this, and if you have any doubt, just comment down in the comment section. After that, again we are making the button hover. So for that hovering effect, we have provided the background color, box shadow and transform. Then comes the model, the pop-up model. So for that we have given display none, and then Z index, position, left, top, weight, background color, justify content and alignment of the items. Then comes the content inside the model content. So that is background color, border radius, padding, width, text alignment and position. Then we have created one close button. So that is cursor, font size, top, right and position. After that we have created one OK button on the pop-up model. So that OK button has the background color, color border, padding, cursor and the border radius. So we'll make that button hover with the background color. And then we have the input of the hover. So that is background color and the transition. So after that we have added media queries. So we already know about the media queries. It is for the responsiveness of the website, and if the device will be smaller or equal to 768px, then the checkout grid and the checkout form and cart items will be adjusted as per the mentioned styling. And then we have provided the keyframes for the transition. And then comes the footer section, which we have already designed. So we have successfully designed the checkout page. Now let us look at the output. Here we are on the home page. What we are going to do, we are going to just add the items. For example, we are going to add the pancakes and let's say omelette. And then again we are going to move on to the meal page. So inside this meal page, we are going to add, let's say, French toast, Greek yogurt, and that's it. And then we'll move on to the cart. Inside this cart, these items has been added and the totaling has been done. So this is the styling, and then we'll just click on the checkout. So right here is the checkout page. You can see we have the footer and then we have the navigation bar here. And after that, we have this checkout page, this form that we have created, and we have this radio button for credit card details and COD. So if we are clicking on credit card, we are getting this option, and then we are clicking on COD, then that credit card option has been hidden. So that we have done using JavaScript. Also here shipping charge are constant, shipping charges are getting added to the total, and then we have this proceed button, and if we are clicking on proceed button, we have this model pop-up. So it says your order has been successfully placed. Thanks. That's it, and now we are getting redirected to the home page after clicking the checkout. So right here I'll just click and then proceed and just thank you, and then again I have been redirected to my home page. So this is what we have created so far. We have created the home page, we have created the meal page, we have created the cart section, and inside the cart section we have also created the checkout page. So now we are going to create the contact us page, and after that we'll create the about us page, and then we'll move on to creating the login page. So now let us go back and we'll create the contact us page. So we'll just create the HTML file first, contact.html, and then we'll create one CSS file, and we'll also create the JavaScript file for this. You can also provide inline JavaScript or you can create a file. So now we'll go to contact.html, and here we'll copy the navigation bar as it is, and then we'll create the page. So now let's just quickly see the contact.html. So first of all, we have created our navigation bar, and then we have opened the div class naming container. After that, we have given it a header and then a heading naming contact us. And inside that, we have created one more class, that is content, and then we have provided a heading, that is get in touch. Inside that, we have written paragraphs. So whatever we have to write, like visit our agency or head office, which is in strong, that means bold. And then we have given the paragraph for the location, and then we have added a mail here using anchor tag, and we have added a telephone number using anchor tag, and then again we have added one paragraph, and we have closed the content info. After that, we have entered one map. We use the iframe tag for that, and inside that we have provided the source of the map, and we have provided the inline styling for the map here. You can see this is the inline styling for the map, and this is the link of the Google Maps. And after that, we have closed the division, and then again we have created one more class, which is header, and we have again created one form inside this class to leave a message. So we have created this form. So this form is basically for the information of the user. So you can see the input here, type is text, and then we have for name, for email, for subject, and then we have provided one text area so the user can write any text message. So after that, we have created one button that is of submit type, and then we have again created one more class for the team contacts. So we have provided our team heading, and then we have given the class as team member. Then we have given the image. We have fetched this image from online, and then we have this class for information. Inside that, we have given some information about that team. Again, we have created one more team member and then one more team member. So after that, at last, we have just added the footer. Now let us look at the contact us designing. So inside this contact us designing, first of all, we have as usually designed our navigation bar, and then we have designed the container, which is max width, margin, padding, background color, box shadow, and alignment of the items. Then we have designed the header, and then the heading of the header. Then we have designed the content, and then we have designed the contact information. After that, we have designed the contact information heading 2, then the paragraph of contact information, then the bold paragraph, which we have created strong. So then we have designed that, and after that, we have designed the information of the contact, where we have provided the anchor tag. After that, we have given the hovering effect to that, and we have just removed the underline. So after that, we have provided this margin bottom, which basically removes the margin from the last paragraph. Then we have styled the map, and the styling that we have given to the map includes the width, max width, height, margin, border, border radius, overflow, and the box shadow. Then again, we have provided the styling for the map iframes. Inside, we have given the width, height, border, and the border radius. After that, we have provided the contact form styling, and that includes display, justify, content, gap, and margin. Then the heading inside the contact form. Then comes the heading 3 inside the contact form. And then we have designed the form group. And after that, we have designed the form group input. And after that, we have designed the form group text area. Inside form group text area, we have just provided the height. After that, we have designed the submit button, and then we have made the submit button hover. You can just pause the video and look at the styling techniques. So after that, we have designed the team contacts and the heading that has been provided inside the team contacts, then the team member, and then the image that we are providing inside the team member, and then the information of the team member. After that, heading, then paragraph, and then comes the footer. We have already styled the footer. It is same for every page. So now we'll just save our file, and we'll save the HTML file. Now let us see the JavaScript for the contact us. So right here we have included the JavaScript for the contact us page. So this script prevents the default form submission using the event prevent default. This stops the page from reloading and displays an alert to confirm the form was submitted successfully. It's great for validating or processing form data with JavaScript before sending it to the server if we are using the backend. So right now we are not using the backend, but so this will basically help us to prevent default. So now let us save the file and we'll just look at the output. Before that, right here inside my home page, I'm going to link my contact.html. So I'll just save the file and we'll look at the output. So before looking at the output, what I have done here is I have provided the links here which were not included initially in my contact.html, the links to my Google Fonts and material icons and the JavaScript libraries. So now we have connected the style sheet and again we'll look at the output. So right here we can see the contact.html. So we'll just go to the home page and here we'll click on contact us page and we are getting redirected to the contact us page. So here we have navigation bar, we have this box, and then we have the map which is from the Google Maps, and then we have our team and the footer. That's it. This is our contact us page, and so far we have created the home page, the mail page, the cart page, the checkout page and the contact us page. So now the next thing that we are going to create is about us page, and lastly we'll create the login and register page. So for creating the about us page, we'll just make one HTML file naming about.html. Then again we'll make about.css and then about.js. We'll just quickly design about.html. For that, so first of all we are going to copy the navigation bar. So from my contact.html, I'm going to copy the navigation bar. So that's it, Control C, and we'll just paste it in about.html. So what we are going to do is we have linked the about.html with the button, and then we are going to add the style sheet here which will be about.css. And now let us move and we'll just write about our platform inside the about.html. Now right here is the about.html. So first of all we have as always included the navigation bar. Inside this we have attached the about.html, and then after the navigation bar we have created one about us container, and then we have given it a heading as about us. We have provided this heading a class name, that is about title, and then inside it we have created one about section. Inside that we have created one about image, and we have given some image ID and image source that we are going to style in CSS. So after that we have given one class about description, and inside the description we have mentioned the ID description, and then we have mentioned the R mission, and then ID mission, and then the vision and the ID vision. That's it. Again we have this footer page. So after that we'll just move on to the CSS of about us. So inside this, first of all we have designed the navigation bar. We have also added the scrolling feature in the navigation bar of about us page. So now after that we have designed the about us container. Then after that we have designed the about us title. After that about us section and the about us image. Then the about us description, and then the paragraph of the about us description. After that the heading of the about us description. That's it. We'll just remove this. So after that we have designed the footer as usual. So we are just going to save it. So we'll just save about.html, and now we'll just move on to about.js. So now here we are on the about us JavaScript. So first of all we have added the function update slide position. So this controls the image slider. It adjusts the position of the image wrapper by changing its horizontal translation based on the current slide index, ensuring the smooth user experience. So after that we have added preview slide and next slide. So this preview slide and next slide handles the slide navigation. They determine the number of slides and either move to the previous or to the next, wrapping around when needed to ensure any infinite loop. After that we have this read more function. So this function displays additional information about the restaurant in the alert box when called, preventing a quick way to ensure the details. And then for the About Us section, JavaScript dynamically loads the content like image, description, vision, and the mission. And then we have the About Title animation. So right here in the About Title animation, first the title fades in. We set the initial opacity to 0. Then we use set timeout to delay the fade in effect by 100 ms. After that, we apply 1 second transition to change the opacity from 0 to 1, making the title appear smoothly, right? After that, the About Us image animation. Next, the image slides in from the left. Initially, it is shifted 50 px to the left and hidden with the 0 opacity. After 300 ms delay, we trigger 1 second transition to move it into the place and fades in simultaneously. After that, we have About Us description animation. Finally, the description text fades in. We start with the opacity set to 0 and after 600 ms delay, we apply 1 second transition to bring the opacity to 1. And that's it for the About Us page. So basically in the About Us page, we have done some transition and it dynamically adds the content for the About Us page like the food, image, description, and the mission. And here we have provided some transition for the About Us page in the image, description, and all. So that's it. We are going to save this JavaScript file and then we'll just look at the output. So this is our About Us page here. We'll just move on to home page. We have linked the About Us page to our home page. And here you can see the transition which we are able to see is because of JavaScript. We have applied all these transitions. This paragraph is dynamically being taken and this image is also being dynamically taken with the help of JavaScript, and this our mission and our vision is also dynamically being taken with the help of JavaScript. So this page has been kept simple and we have just applied transition and animation using JavaScript. Again here we have the footer. So that's it about our About Us page. So right here we have built our home page. We have built the About Us page. So we have linked the Contact Us page with the About Us page. We'll just fix that. We have the Cart Us page. And now we are going to build the login page. So we'll just move and fix that. So inside the about.html, what we have done is we have not linked the Contact Us page. So here we are just going to link the contact.html. That's it. So what you have to do is you have to link every page in the navigation bar of every page. Like inside the index.html, you have to provide this contact, card, About Us, every link. Same you have to do in About Us, same you have to do in cart page and all. So you have to provide every link to the every page. So now if we'll go to About Us page also, and in About Us page we'll go to Contact Us page, we'll be redirected to the Contact Us page only. So that's it. So now we have to create a login and register page. So again we are going to use HTML, CSS and JavaScript to create the login page. So here to create the login page, first of all we'll make the login page HTML file. We'll just write login.html and then we'll create login.css, and after that we'll create, let's say we'll just name it as main.js. And we are also planning to add one feature in our login page, that would be user should be able to log in with the email ID. So for that also we are going to make one JavaScript page, and that would be, let's say, login script.js. So these are the 4 files that we are going to work on. So first of all we'll work on login.html. Here we have written the login.html page. First of all we have written the head section in which we have provided the title, and then we have added the custom style sheet link, and then we have added the links. After that we have created the navigation bar, added the logo image, and then again the material icons and the elements inside the navigation bar. After that we have created one container. We are going to create the login form here. So for the login form we have given the ID, class and on submit login event. That basically we are going to add in the JavaScript. And again we have given the heading, that is login, and label and input for the username and ID password. So that is it. This is required because user cannot move forward without filling that section. After that we have created a submit button, And then we have added one more paragraph which says don't have an account, then you can register. So after that we have added one onClick function here, and then we have added one paragraph which says register here. So after that, if the person doesn't have an account, they can just click on register here, and then the registration form will be visible. So for that, again we have created one form. We have given a heading of register. We have given the label input for the username, email and password. And then again we have created one submit button. Inside it, we have also mentioned one paragraph that if you already have an account, you can just go to the login page. Again, we have just added this onClick function here, which will show the login page. And after that, we have this simple button element wrapped with div. This button is styled to have a black background, and we are using Font Awesome for the Google logo icon, which is added with I tag and the class of fab FA Google. This gives a nice recognizable Google login button. So after that, we have just added the script here. We are going to use the login script.js, and then we are going to use the main.js, and then we have added the links for the Firebase authentication. So we will just move on to the styling part, and after that we are going to write the JavaScript, which is the main part of the login page. So this right here is the styling of our login page. First we have provided the global styling, and after that we have styled our navigation bar, the logo image, the unordered list of the navigation bar, and the every section of the navigation bar. After that we have styled the items, we have provided the hover effect to the navigation bar, and then we have styled the icons. So we are not using material symbols, we are just using material icons. So after that we have provided the additional styling, and then we have provided the background image. So after that we have created one container, and inside the container we have provided the background color, padding, border radius, box shadow, width, and the margin top and left. Then the form container, in which the text alignment is center. Then the heading 2, and then we have styled the label and the input. After that we have styled the button, then we have made the button hover, and then we have styled the paragraph and the anchor tag. Then we have added the hovering effect to the anchor tag, and then just we have styled the heading. That's it for the login.css, and we'll just save this file. Now we'll move on to the main JavaScript and the login.javascript. So inside the main.javascript, we will just give the code for the JavaScript for Firebase authentication, so the person is able to log in with their Google account. And inside the login script.js, we are going to provide all the type of form validations and everything that we are going to mention in our login page. So let's just move on to login.js now. So right here we have the JavaScript code for the login page. This first section is basically to toggle between the registration form and the login form. If somebody already has an account, they can just click on to login form and the registration form will be hidden. And if one doesn't have an account, they can just click on registration form and the login form will be hidden. After that, we have this function. So this function is basically to validate this username. So the username here cannot have any number, and if the username contains number, they will just get the alert that username cannot have number. They will just fetch the username from login username, and then they'll check it. If the username is not valid, they will just get this alert message. So after that, we have included this function to check the username and the password. So if the username matches the username which is in the local storage, and it will be validated, and if the password also matches the local storage password, then it will be validated, and if not, then user will get this alert message which says incorrect username or the password. Now that's it. The password will be validated with the password. The username will be validated with the username that's been stored in the local storage. Finally, we have added some event listeners to switch between registration form and the login form. We have added event listener to the button so that when you click on the registration button shows up and the login form hides. Similarly, clicking on the login button will bring back the login form and hides the registration form. That's it about the script of login page, and here we have basically validated the username, the password, and we have added some event listener to toggle between the registration form and the login form. So now what we'll do, we'll just save this file, and the last step is to add the Firebase authentication using login with Google. So we will just quickly write main.js code and then we'll be looking at the output. So this code is basically for the Firebase authentication. We are going to add this feature into our login page that user will be able to log in using their Google accounts. So first here, this initializes your Firebase app with the configuration details. And then we have this get authentication. So this basically provides the access to the Firebase authentication service. And then we have this Google authentication provider. This basically is used to configure the Google as a login provider. And then we have sign in with pop-up. So this handles the Google login pop-up process. After that, we have this const Firebase configuration. So this configuration object contains the Firebase project details. These credentials are provided by Firebase when you set up your project. So they are necessary for connecting your app to the Firebase services like authentication, storage, etc. After that, we are initializing the Firebase and authentication. So inside this, we have this initialize app and Firebase configuration. This basically initializes the Firebase app with the configuration that we have defined above. After that, we have get authentication app. This basically initializes the Firebase authentication that will allow you to use the authentication features like login and logout. So this basically tells the language, and EN basically stands for English. So after that, here basically we are setting up our login provider. So this basically is used to set up the Google as the authentication method. It defines the Google as the login provider that user can use to sign in. After that, here we are adding the event listener to the login button. So this Google login basically refers to our Google login button in the HTML code. After that, we have added click event listener, and this basically adds the click event listener to the button. When the button is clicked, the login process will start. So basically, we have this sign in with pop-up authentication provider. This initiates the Google login pop-up when the user clicks the login button. It takes two arguments we have mentioned here, authentication and the provider. So then in catch basically handles the error, and the credential stores the Google credentials like ID token. And after that, we have the users, and users basically contains the logged in users detail such as their email and the profile information. After that, we have console.log user. So this basically prints the user details to the console. And then on we have this window location reference. This basically redirects the user to the home page after the successful login. And then we have this catch, which basically handles the error. If there is an issue during the login process, such as if the user cancels or there is a network issue, then error.code provides the error code, and then the error.message contains the descript. That's it. We have included the Firebase authentication, and we'll just save this file. So after saving this file, we are just going to go on login.html. So we will not add the index.html here because we don't want the user to access the home page without logging in. So now that we have created every page, so let us just look at the output. Here is our login page. Let's say I have not registered. So I'll just register myself here. I'll just write, let's say we'll just give name as Ria, and email ID will just write as 123456@gmail.com, and password will create 123. That's it. We have registered, and then we have our login page here. The username was Ria and the password was, let's say, 123. We'll just click on login, and then we are at our home page. And now we'll verify login with Google. We'll just click on login with Google. So actually I have already logged in with Google, so my email address has been saved with Google. So that's why I'm able to log in with the Google. But if you'll integrate into your system, then you will get your email IDs and then you'll be able to log in with the Google. So right here, we have the home page that we have created. Then on we have this about us page. After that, we have this mail page. And then we have created the contact us page. And then we have created the cart. And after that, at last, we have created the checkout page. And the last thing is to proceed. Right? That's it. This is our project. We have successfully completed our project with the home page, about us page, mail page, contact us page, login register page, and the card page. So this was our project using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And further in the next video, we'll study about the React.js. So let us just take a quick overview of React.js and then we'll just continue in the next video. So let's have a look at some trending frameworks. So the first one we have is React. Meta developed React in 2013. It is a powerful library that's been adopted by major companies like Facebook and Instagram. Then we have Angular. Google created Angular in 2010 and it is another framework trusted by big names such as PayPal and Samsung. Then on we have Vue. Ivan Yu created Vue in 2014 and it has been adopted by big names such as Microsoft and Apple. So there are so many front-end frameworks in the market, but React.js is widely used. So after this, let us see how React.js works. So React.js basically is an open source JavaScript library and React makes the development process faster and simple. So it is used for building the user interfaces, mainly the single page applications. And also React allows the developers to create large web applications that can change the data without reloading the page. So there are some reasons why do we use React. So the first one is Virtual DOM. React uses Virtual DOM to efficiently update and render only the components that change, enhancing the performance. Next on we have development speed. React's reusable components and extensive library support significantly speeds up the development process. Then on we have stability. With one-way data flow, React ensures that the application updates do not unexpectedly affect the other parts. Then on we have interactive interfaces. React makes it easy to create interactive user interfaces that respond seamlessly to the user input. And then on we have component-based architecture. React component-based architecture allows for modular, maintainable, and scalable code. Then on we have server-side rendering. React supports server-side rendering, which improves performance and SEO for the web application. Then on we have simple to use. React straightforward API and vast community make it easy to learn and use even for the beginners. Then on we have flexible development. So React flexibility allows developers to integrate it with various other tools and frameworks, adapting a different project needs. So now let's take a quick overview of backend development. So backend development mainly focuses on two components, the web server and the databases. On the web server, we use server-side languages like Node.js, Python or PHP to handle the requests. We also need web server software such as Apache to host and serve our web applications. Lastly, API integration allows different systems to communicate with each other. On the other hand, with databases, we have two types of databases. Relational databases like MySQL, which store data in structured tables, and non-relational databases like MongoDB, which store the data in flexible format. It is ideal for unstructured or semi-structured data. So that's it for this playlist. In this playlist, we have covered the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then we built a form using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And after that, we created a full-fledged front-end project using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I hope you have enjoyed listening to this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries, and we will reply to them at the earliest. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to Edureka channel to learn more. Happy learning!